I'm going to sit down with the Energy Secretary, Rick Perry. He's stepping down in a couple of weeks after serving President Trump for about 3 years. We talked about the work he's done and the 2020 race for the White House. But we started with the impeachment inquiry and testimony from EU Ambassador Gordon Sondland this week, who testified that Perry and others were read in on the push to get Burisma investigated. In this exclusive, the Secretary sharply denies that, tells his side of the story, and says if Democrats believe they're getting the president removed from office, think again.
Ambassador Sondland goes up there to these impeachment hearings and invokes your name and testifies under oath that you were more read in on the president pushing for the investigation of the Bidens than you've let on.
Yeah. The record's very clear. I've talked about this from the get-go, that I knew exactly what we've been talking about. We've been talking about corruption. We've been talking about unbundling of NAFTA gas. We've been talking about both with Poroshenko before Zelensky ever got into office. We had these same conversations. They have to unbundle. You have to have the rule of law. You must make sure that there's not corruption going on in your government if you expect Americans to come and to invest here and help your country get away from that Russian influence of their gas. That's been the story day after day. Not once was the name Burisma or the Bidens mentioned to me, not by the president, not by Rudy Giuliani, and not by Gordon Sondland. And if there's anyone saying anything different, then they're surmising, and that's not a wise thing to do. I know what I saw, I know what I heard, and I stand by my statements that I made all along, and will continue to.
So you've been around politics a long time. How do you see this ending for the president?
Well, I think the president will he will muscle right on through this. He is an extraordinary individual to stay focused and disciplined from the standpoint of, you know, we got a mission here, and we're going to get through it, and we're going to make this happen. And, you know, I don't see the American people buying into this thing.
Do you see any chance that Republicans remove him from office in the Senate?
Oh, Lord, no.
Your critics would say you don't care about the environment.
I like to tell people that this administration, in the first 2 years of this administration, we spent more money on renewable energy than the previous administration in their last 2 years. We increased the budget of our national labs by 43%, and a lot of that goes towards technologies, the National Energy Renewable Lab. But here's what's most important. Because this president understood that American LNG could really impact the emissions issue in Europe. And he basically said, I want you to go sell LNG like the world looks flat. Go get this done. Here's what he said when I was sitting in his office getting interviewed back in December of 2016. He said, Perry, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go do for American energy what you did for Texas. And I said, I got it, Mr. President. And that's what we've done. We're selling American LNG now into 36 different countries on 5 continents. The Europeans saved $8 billion last year because American LNG and the competition it brought to the market over there against Russian gas, not only are they not held hostage by Russian gas, they're also saving money. Americans, because of the shale revolution, over $200 billion saved last year. And you do the math on that, that's for a family of 4, it's about $2,500 a year that Americans saved because of the regulations and the taxes that basically said to in this case, the fossil fuel industry, go out there and develop this, and they have. Here's the result. Our emissions are lower than any country that's a signatory to that Paris Agreement. Our emissions are back down to the same levels that we had in, I believe, 1987, energy-related emissions. That's a good story.
What do you see when you look across at the Democrats? They had another debate last night. You've been through this, as you say, a few times.
I hear too many people talking about, if you vote for me, here's what I'll give you. Free, 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 free. I think there's a TV ad that says that, isn't it? I don't know what they're giving away free. There are no free lunches. Stuff costs. We need to get this country focused on how blessed we are today to have the resources that we have, to have the freedoms that we have, and don't let them get away from us.
I want to figure out where you're going next, but when I got into your office and I saw that pillow with Davy Crockett, what's it saying? You all can go to hell, but I'm going to Texas?
So Davy Crockett was elected 2 times to Congress from Tennessee, and the 3rd time he got defeated. And he went to Jackson, Tennessee. Lamar Alexander and I were just talking about this a couple of days ago. He went to a little courthouse in Jackson, Tennessee, and stood up on the courthouse and said, you know, sure enjoyed working for you. But he said, you all may go to hell. I'm going to Texas.
You're going to do something similar? Are you going to go to Capitol Hill or go to the White House?
No, I'm not going to tell anybody go to hell. I've enjoyed it. It's been an incredible 3 years of working up here, and I love my wife and I love Texas.